WhiteCountryLeague.net.
Welcome to the first edition of Planet Earth Weekly News of 2011. I hope the new year bring you the best and peace to the world. As you know, the 2011 should be very active in climate change, earthquake, volcanoes, and a lot of activity that will threat us. And I'm going to inform this in the new year. I will be very active in my channel in YouTube and on my webpage with my teamwork on WPTV.net. It's a WP Press collaboration group that we are working to have inform you about what is happening on the earth. That's the most important, what is happening in the climate. Also, we are offering news about healthcare, UFO, sports, WikiLeaks, a lot of other news. But we are focused on the change on the earth. So if you will see the future news about some change in the earth, like today, that I'm gonna inform you four change that have occurred in the earth from January 1st to January 2nd. From January 1st, Argentina was shaken by earthquake. A 7.0 earthquake shake Argentina. Today, January 2nd, a 7.2 earthquake rocked Chile. There were no immediate report of death or damage, and Vicente Núñez, head of the National Emergency Office, said that no tsunami alert was issued. Also, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center in Hawaii also said a destructive Pacific Ocean-wide tsunami was not expected. In Chile, some cell phone communication were knocked out in Araucanía region, where the quake was centered, 370 miles southwest of the capital Santiago. The U.S. Geological Survey said the epicenter was about 45 miles, 7 kilometers away from the provincial capital of Temuco, which has a population of about 250,000. The quake struck at a depth of about 11 miles, according to the USGS, and there was at least one aftershock of 5.0 magnitude. When the first tremor struck, people in several coast cities quickly moved for higher ground, abandoning some shopping centers entirely. Residents of the region have fresh memories of the magnitude 8.8 quake and resulting tsunami on February 27, 2010 that killed at least 521 people and left 200,000 people homeless. So two strong earthquakes hit at the early stage of 2011. The first 2 days of 2011 with 2 7+ earthquakes is very intriguing. Let's see what happened. Also, I have news today that more than 1,000 dead birds fall from the Kansas skies. Wildlife officials are trying to determine what caused more than 1,000 blackbirds to die and fall from the sky over an Kansas town. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission said Saturday that it began receiving reports about the dead birds about 11:30 p.m. the previous night. The bird fell over a 1 mile, 2 kilometers area, and an aerial survey indicated that no other dead birds were found outside of that area. Commission ornithologist Karen Rowe said that the bird showed physical trauma, and she speculated that the flock could have been hit by lightning or high-altitude hail. The commission said that New Year's Eve revelers shooting off fireworks in the area could have started the bird from their roost and caused them to die from stress. Robin King, a wildlife officer for the agency, collected about 65 dead birds, which will be sent for testing to the State Livestock and Poultry Commission lab at the National Wildlife Health Center lab in Wisconsin. Rose said that similar events have occurred elsewhere and the test results usually were inconclusive. She said she doubted the birds were poisoned, so they don't think that the birds were poisoned, and these events have occurred in other places in the world, and the result of the test usually were inconclusive. So where the news or the article say that there will no conclusion, they will know they don't know what happened, and they are thinking that this was for the New Year fireworks, and I don't think also this was for the New Year, because this is more than 1,000 birds, so it's not easy. So they need to see what happened in this article on this event that happened at Kansas Sky. Also, I have information about the flood swamped Australian East Coast. People say we have not seen water this high in record history here. Large parts of Australia's coastal northeast disappeared under floodwater on Sunday, in a spreading disaster that has brought some of the highest flood on record and forced thousands from their home. Queensland State Treasurer Andrew Fraser described the flood as a disaster of biblical proportion and said the ultimate cost will exceed a $1 billion, $1.2 billion. As a forecasted predicted month of more rain, hundreds of residents in the town of Rockhampton, 600 kilometers north of the Queensland state capital Brisbane, fled homes amid rising water, which are expected to reach over 30 feet deep in coming days. This is incredible news. It is the Fitzroy River flowing down the Rockhampton that is still rising and expected to get quite near to record level. Gordon Banks, a senior forecaster in Brisbane with Australia Bureau of Meteorology, told Reuters. Those floods in the south of Queensland are hitting records. We have not seen water that high in recorded history here. Australia Bureau of Meteorology said floodwater in the town could reach 9 meters, 30 feet, on Monday and peak at 9.4 meters on Wednesday, a level similar to flood that hit in 1991 and 1954. Bureau of Meteorology's hydrologist Jeff Perkins said floodwater will also flow on down to western New South Wales. Normally, the tropical wet season will only be beginning around now, meaning more headache to corn farmers, miners, and the general community. We got a couple of months more and a good chance of further rainfall, Perky and Tuller say. So the situation in Australia is not good for these residents, and they expect more and more rain in the upcoming day. Let's see what happens in Australia. So another thing I want to share is the 2011, a year of Aurora. Dawn of a new year. As 2010 went down, Best Press Hungary was enveloped in thick fog, but the sky cleared for the first dawn of 2011. Report photographer Monica Gimel said, "Some people were just returning home with two no-strike steps from New Year's Eve parties as I went outside for a photo shoot. The sky was beautiful and a crescent moon was just emerging from the fog cloud and Venus was almost as bright as moon. Mercury was also there just over the horizon. We expect to see the sky very dirty in the coming days due to the climate. But we expect to see more auroras in the coming days." That's what the news say. So I also wanna tell you people that the level sunspots are producing a series of low-level B-class flares, but the new year brings three new sunspots, 1140, 1141, and 1142 that are developing in a fast manner, and you can clearly see what is going on the sun in spaceweather.com and follow the development of these new sunspot to see what they bring to the Earth. This is the first edition of 2011 of Planet Earth Weekly News. Go to weeptv.net to read more about news and articles, or subscribe to the news feeds of WeepyTV. This is WHDTV channel on YouTube. Thank you. Have a good and pleasant and great day. Thank you, people. Goodbye.